Donald Trump is out of control on Wednesday morning. He is ranting like a lunatic, and he is sending his sycophantic MAGA stooges out on Capitol Hill to again threaten to invade Greenland. That has been one of Donald Trump's main messages this morning, that he is coming after Greenland. Also, the Trump regime announced a new food pyramid where they still also encourage people to drink alcohol because it is a social lubricant that brings people together. And they also said they want people to work longer. So this is all about making people work and be more productive so that they don't retire earlier. And that's how they're going to make the economy better. Let me just explain to you what's going down this morning. So Donald Trump posts this all caps lunatic social media screed where he goes, "Remember, I single-handedly ended 8 wars, and Norway, a NATO member, foolishly chose not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize, but that doesn't matter. What matters is I'm saving millions of lives. And I doubt that there would even be a NATO if there wasn't the US. And I doubt that NATO would be there for us if we really needed them. Everyone is lucky that I rebuilt our military in my first term and continue to do so." You didn't rebuild our military. You've made us significantly weaker. So there he is trashing NATO once again. I'm sure Russia is pleased. By the way, hit subscribe. We're on our way to 6 million subscribers here. As you know, we're under attack from state regime media, which calls itself Fox News, and the Trump regime and the Trump DOJ has been attacking us before as well regarding our discovery that they were concealing an additional million+ documents in the Epstein files. So hit subscribe. Also, Donald Trump posts, "Hire John Harbaugh fast. He and his brother are total winners, DJT." But then on Capitol Hill, let me show you what was going down. You had Secretary of State Marco Rubio threatening NATO and threatening Greenland. And Rubio says, "We reserve the military right to go after Greenland if we want to." Play this clip.
I put out a statement last night saying that the military option is on the table.
Lost a lot of weight.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. They said the military option is on the table. So is the administration really willing to risk the NATO alliance by potentially moving ahead with military operation?
What I think the White House said yesterday is what I will tell you now, and I've always said. The president always retained the option. Every president, not this president, every president always retains the option. I'm not talking about Greenland. I'm just talking about globally. If the president identifies a threat to the national security of the United States, every president retains the option to address it through military means. As a diplomat, which is what I am now, and what we work on, we always prefer to settle it in different ways. That included in Venezuela. We tried repeatedly to reach an outcome here that did not involve having to go in and grab an indicted drug trafficker. Those were unsuccessful, unfortunately.
The people of Venezuela.
Then Rubio says, yes, we would prefer to buy Greenland, but if they don't sell it to us, we reserve military options. But we want to purchase Greenland. That's what this is all about. Play this clip.
To lawmakers, does the U.S. intend to buy Greenland? Does the U.S. intend to buy Greenland? Can you clarify your comments to lawmakers this week?
Well, that's always been the president's intent from the very beginning. He said it very early on. I mean, this is not new. He talked about it in his first term, and he's not the first U.S. president that has examined or looked at how could we acquire Greenland. There's an interest there. But so I just reminded them of the fact that not only did Truman want to do it, but President Trump's been talking about this since his first term.
Then you had Caroline Leavitt at her press conference. I'll do a longer video on her disastrous press conference, but in her press conference this morning, she said she was asked if why isn't the United States ruling out a military strike against a NATO ally in Greenland? And watch what she says. Here, play this clip.
Purchase would look like.
Caroline,
Jackie.
Caroline, just following up on Greenland, why not rule out taking it by military force?
I know that past presidents and past leaders have often ruled things out. They've often been very open about ruling things in and basically broadcasting their foreign policy strategy to the rest of the world, not just to our allies, but most egregiously to our adversaries. That's not something this president does. All options are always on the table for President Trump as he examines what's in the best interests of the United States. But I will just say that the president's first option always has been diplomacy. Again, Look at Venezuela. He tried ardently to strike a good deal with Nicolas Maduro, and he told him, I will use the United States military and you will not like it if you don't take such a deal. And look at what happened. With respect to Iran, the president said the same thing, right? He tried to have serious interest in a deal with the Iranian regime with respect to their nuclear capabilities. They were not interested, and so Operation Midnight Hammer happened, which was another remarkable military success under the leadership of this commander-in-chief. So the president keeps his options open, but diplomacy is always the first.
Quickly, just one additional follow-up.
Then Donald Trump's stooge, Representative Andy Ogles, says the United States is a predator. He goes, we are predators. And as predators in the Western Hemisphere, we must do what predators do. We need to be predators and seize Greenland. I get it. This is what MAGA's view is, that they are predators. And yes, it shouldn't shock you that they are covering up a child sex trafficking ring as they refer to themselves as predators. Here, play this clip.
You know, the passage of military assets in that region, as you see the area, the sea becoming more more traversable. It's important that we have a stake in Greenland, that they are quite frankly a protectorate of the United States, and not they've been in participation or a relationship with Denmark. That needs to end. Denmark, we have spilled more blood. The United States of America has spilled more blood protecting Greenland than the Danes have. We have a greater vested interest in Greenland than, geographically speaking, than the Denmark, the Danes have. And so when you look at the Monroe Doctrine, when you look at the Western Hemisphere, we are the dominant predator, quite frankly, force in the Western Hemisphere. And that speaks to Venezuela, where I'll take odds with Senator Paul, my friend.
Then you have MAGA Mike Johnson on Capitol. All this happened in the past 2 hours, 3 hours on Capitol Hill. MAGA Mike Johnson is then asked, so is it responsible for the White House to continue to mention military action against Greenland? Watch MAGA Mike's response.
Just to follow up, because you say that there's military action is not going to happen. So then is it responsible for the White House to continue to raise the specter of military action? They said very explicitly.
I've spoken to the question. I'm not gonna take 1,000 gotcha questions this morning trying to pit me against the White House. It is. I've said I can't be more clear than I have been on this. I've given lengthy statements on it. You know where I stand. You know where the House stands. We're going to get a briefing today, and then we'll see how it develops. So everybody relax. Yes.
Last question. On that note, though, did Secretary Rubio...
How cowardly is MAGA Mike Johnson? His response is that that's a gotcha question. You're the Speaker of the House, MAGA Mike. You're not going to answer. And by the way, and Congress is the power, has the authority under the Constitution to authorize war, not Donald Trump. You don't have a position on invading a NATO ally. And then a reporter asks MAGA Mike, well, what about Trump unilaterally seizing oil from Venezuela, as he says he's going to seize 30 to 50 million barrels of oil? And Donald Trump's like, they're already in the barrels. They're not actually barrels, okay? Like, I don't think the regime even understands the way oil is sent. It doesn't actually come in actual barrels anymore. And by the way, where's it going to go? I mean, what's the deal? I mean, do you understand the type of kind of muddy and thick oil under Venezuela? Where is it being sent to? It's not like it's refined at the source. In any event, MAGA Mike's like, well, it's sanctioned oil, and I'm not going to get into details because I don't know anything. He's basically just like, I just do what Donald Trump tells me to do. Play this clip.
Okay. Yeah. Well, last one. Yeah.
The president, as you saw, said that he is going to get 50 million barrels of oil or something from Venezuela. Does the president have the authority to unilaterally seize oil from Venezuela and then use the money from the sale of that oil as he sees fit, as he said he's going to do?
I hear Congressman Jimenez over my shoulder, who's the world's expert on all this, saying that is sanctioned oil, okay? And I'm not going to get up here and tell you the details of all these developments because it's still being developed. There are a lot of ideas. There's some brainstorming being done out loud by all sorts of people, many of whom are not even authorized to have these conversations. I would not run with too many of these headlines right now, okay? I'm telling you that all of this is developing right now. I am very confident we have steady hands at the wheel, and then this will be figured out. So stay tuned. Thank you all.
Do you have
A date for
Ever wake up sweaty, freezing, or just uncomfortable? The temperature in your bedroom can make or break your sleep. That's why I switched to Miracle Made sheets. They're inspired by NASA technology and use silver-infused temperature-regulating fabric to help you sleep perfectly all night long. Miracle Made sheets are crafted with NASA-inspired silver-infused fabric that helps regulate your body temperature. Hot sleeper, cold sleeper, it doesn't matter. These sheets help keep you in the comfort zone all night long. Thanks to their antibacterial silver technology, Miracle Made sheets stay cleaner and fresher up to 3 times longer than regular sheets. That means fewer odors, fewer wash cycles, and way less laundry. They feel just as good, if not better, than sheets you'd find at a 5-star hotel, but without the steep price tag. Smooth, breathable, and ridiculously comfortable. Upgrade your sleep or give the gift of better rest. Go to trymiracle.com/Meidas to try Miracle Made sheets today. You'll save over 40%, and when you use promo code Meidas, you'll get an extra 20% off plus a free 3-piece towel set. They make an amazing gift. With a 30-day money-back guarantee, there's no risk. That's trymiracle.com/Meidas, code Meidas at checkout. Thanks to Miracle Made for sponsoring this episode.
And then when MAGA Mike was asked about the fact that I did a video on this morning, that he's losing his majority at this point, and it's like just a 1-seat majority, and he's asked if he's concerned, he starts quoting the Bible and talks about the Red Sea parting, and then basically scurries off like the weak coward that he is and runs away. Play this clip.
But just wait for further development. But I wanted you to know it's coming. It's coming.
Are you concerned with the death of Mr. LaMalfa and what happened, obviously, with Marjorie Taylor Greene resigning? Is your majority in jeopardy? Is it so tenuous that the House could flip during this time?
No. Can I give you my honest reflection on this? Okay. As was noted earlier, we've been working with it. Sorry, I didn't want to do all this. We have been working with a razor-thin majority since I became Speaker. And as you know, at many points in the last year, we had a 1 or 2 vote majority at any given moment. The passing of Doug was a shock to us because we'll miss him as an individual. But this is the group that has demonstrated over and over and over and over that we defy expectations and make history. Look, we do this. It's a very simple thing. Okay, this is not the acumen of Speaker Johnson or necessarily all the teamwork of the Republican conference. This is because I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm a person of deep faith, and we trust in God. That is our national motto, and we act upon that. I put up one slide this morning at the end of conference, and it's a favorite that I have on my phone, and I share it with everybody, and it's an image of the Red Sea parting, okay? And some of you guys are going to mock me for this, but look, we just came upon the 250th anniversary. We just started the 250th anniversary of the greatest nation in the history of the world. Our founders and the framers of the Constitution, the founders, including George Washington, the father of our country, used to speak openly about his belief, his solemn belief, that it was divine providence that allowed us to create this great country. I believe that is the secret of our genius. It is the reason we have become the most successful, most powerful, most prosperous, most benevolent nation in the history of the world. And we do well to remember that, and we do. And I believe that God's not done with America yet. Can I put it to you that way, Chad? God's not done with America yet, and it's up to the people in this building to keep this great republic going for another 250 years.
And one flu season away from losing the majority.
None of us are guaranteed tomorrow. None of us. We don't know what's going to happen. The Bible says you don't worry about tomorrow. You focus on today. Today has enough trouble as its own. We do that every day. We're going to keep delivering. Those seas are going to part when necessary. We're going to keep this great republic. And I know I'm going to be maligned for saying that, and I don't care because, that my worldview is we give God the glory. I believe God has blessed America. I believe it is in him who we trust, and I think we do well to remind everybody of that. I'm not worried about the numbers. I don't get up in apprehension or anxiety in any day. I get up every day with hope and anticipation to see what God's going to do for our great country. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Now, while that was taking place, as I mentioned earlier in this video, you had Trump's regime introducing their new food pyramid, which they also still encourage alcohol. And this is at the same time they've removed most of the important recommendations about childhood vaccines, which will likely lead to tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of children getting killed. And it's at the same time that the Trump regime has revoked at least $10 billion from blue states in child care services. And here, Dr. Oz is saying that if we can just get the average American to work longer, we will be richer. So what this is all about is making sure Americans don't retire earlier and they work longer because they feel so vibrant that they just want to keep on working for corporations. Here, play this clip.
If we're able to get the average American, who today retires on average at age 61, get them just to work 1 year longer, because they feel so vital, so strong, so bullish about their future, because they're feeding their bodies nutrients that are essential to their high-functioning productivity, we will increase the overall GDP of our nation by trillions of dollars. So we will reduce healthcare expenses. At the same time, we jazz up the U.S. economy with trillions of dollars created by the productivity of American workers. God bless you both for making the DGA feasible and making it perhaps the wisest investment we could make in our communities.
Then RFK Jr. speaks about how he's been ordered to end obesity, that Donald Trump says obesity must end. Well, see, as our friends at the Tennessee Holler said, so is Trump going to lead by example? Play this clip.
Them to addict us to ultra-processed foods. It's shocking that our own government helped to drive these cataclysmic changes in our diet. The damage is real, it is preventable, and President Trump has ordered it to end. If the United States reduced obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and Alzheimer's, the Japanese levels, we would save approximately $600 billion a year.
Then RFK's phone starts going off and it just starts quacking. Here, let's play this clip right here.
I mean, my hope is that we only released these earlier, 2 days earlier. I'm sorry.
Duck is also high in protein.
And then you have MAGA Republican Rick Scott start talking about how next we're going to go after Cuba and Nicaragua and Colombia, all of the countries in the Western Hemisphere we're about to go after. Here, let's play this clip.
So proud of what the president did, and Marco Rubio and Pete Hegseth and everybody, our military, Maria Corina Machado, and what they did in Venezuela is going to change Latin America. This is the start of changing Venezuela. Then we're going to fix Cuba. Nicaragua will get fixed. Next year, we'll get a new president in Colombia. We're going to start, the democracy is coming back to this hemisphere.
So the president.
And Nancy Mace goes on state regime media as well, one of the state regime media channels. And she says, yeah, I'm not really confident that Republicans are going to keep the House. We're in big trouble. Here, play this clip.
Week. Are you confident Republicans can hold on to the majority come November?
Well, no, I'm not. I feel like we could do a lot more. We don't have a lot of time to, I believe, implement all of Donald Trump's agenda. Republican primaries start in March. Texas is one of the earliest states, and I don't believe we've done enough.
There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.